Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong already!
It's that time of the year again, when the weather gets a little colder and television programming gets a little spookier. I will go on record by saying that Halloween has to have the best holiday specials. And all month long, I will be doing a video on Halloween specials. So don't turn off the lights and get ready for AniWeen. The first Halloween special in this series will be an underrated classic, Scary Godmother. I didn't realize until doing research for this video that Scary Godmother was originally a comic book series written in the 90s and early 2000s by the author and illustrator Jill Thompson. The movies are loosely based off of these comic books, but with all that out of the way, let's get into the movie. The movie opens up on this stiff-ass animation. I understand it was the early 2000s, but this did not age well at all. Just look at this. We meet up with Katie, the girl in the cat costume, and Daryl, the kid with the worst Halloween costume imaginable, a piece of candy. For some reason, when I was a kid, I used to think that this costume was a tampered piece of candy, but that detail is only in the book. But I never read the book until making this video, so I have no idea where I got this idea from. We meet up with Bert.
Hey, Bert! Got enough room in your trunk for all the candy we'll get? I said, do you have room to roll down the window? Ah, that's better. Hear you. Sweet ride.
Who is a baseball player in an SUV. Now, listen. I don't think anything racial was meant by this costume, but something about it never sat right with me as a kid. We then get to meet the group leader, Jimmy, who is dressed up as Ronald Reagan. I mean, the devil. Same difference. He is accompanied by his little cousin, Hannah. Our main character of the story, who is also the only character with pupils and irises.
Baseball players play night games, right?
That's true. So I'm like a half creature of the night.
That's got to be racist. There's no way. I'm gonna just keep it real. There's no way that is like of our culture.
Hannah is deathly afraid of monsters. In the movie, they have this interesting flashback recreation with Daryl and Katie, but in the comic, they actually show the events that lead up to Jimmy picking up Hannah. Jimmy comes up with a plan to ditch Hannah. He plans on scaring her so that she runs home, so that him and the other kids can get a lot more candy, because they feel that Hannah would just be slowing them down. But if Jimmy was more intelligent, he would realize because Hannah is a little girl, she is more likely to get more Halloween candy for them. But as the movie goes on, we realize Jimmy is not that smart. So they force her to go into the abandoned house they dub the Spook House. Now, watching this movie in 2023, any abandoned piece of property is 100% full of homeless people living in there. So these kids are probably crashing some homeless person's encampment. But I digress. Hannah goes into the spook house to throw a piece of candy in the basement because they told her the new kid always has to throw a piece of candy in the basement so the monsters don't get everyone. But as she goes down to the basement to throw down the candy, she realizes that the other kids have left her behind. Now, a little childhood trauma is good for some character development, but these kids are borderline assholes. This girl is scared for her life and they lock the door on her, making her think that she is locked in this house with a bunch of monsters that are going to eat her. Hannah starts crying, but her tears summon her scary godmother.
Why are you crying?
Because I like the sound of booing. Boo-hoo, hoo. Hannah Marie! Say hello to your scary godmother.
My what?
Scary godmother! Ta-da!
You mean
And Scary Godmother basically kidnaps this young girl to an alternate dimension called the front side, so she can meet her other monster friends. Yeah, somebody call the police. Or not. Someone just needs to call Jujutsu Hot. This lady needs to get exorcised. We later end up going to Scary Godmother's house.
There we go.
what do you think? Homie.
And then we are introduced to Scully, who is in the closet.
A monster!
Broommate.
Oh my, Scary Godmother! Sorry to be so late, but I just had to get these old bones bleached for the party.
Nile is a river in Egypt. Your husband is gay.
I'm not gonna lie, as a kid I always thought that I understood adult jokes, but it took me so long to understand this joke in particular, I kind of feel bad. We find out that Scary Godmother is having a Halloween party with all of her broom mates. Get it? Broom mates? Because she's a witch? Scully low-key pulls a microaggression by saying that Hannah just never met one of the good monsters, and that's why she's scared of monsters. Yeah, as this movie goes on, some of these characters say some pretty questionable things about other monsters and people. We meet back up with the big kids, where Bert low-key plays the voice of reason.
You just left your baby cousin to the mercy of killer monsters on Halloween night, and you're concerned with the additions and upgrades in my cardboard SUV?
Good point.
Back at the party, we are introduced to Harry the Wolf, probably my favorite character in this whole movie. And Scully is kind of racist towards Harry.
Delicacies, do you? Ow! No! Down, boy! Last year, you devastated the entire buffet before the other guests even arrived.
How dare you, sir? I come to a party to enjoy the company of good...
Now, sit. Good boy. Shake. Now, roll over.
Oh, please.
Roll over.
I will not degrade myself.
Over. Good boy. Here.
Beating him and essentially telling him to do dog tricks. Which is kind of crazy considering there might be some type of monster hierarchy that makes him treat him this way. Harry meets Hannah and thinks that she is a character from one of his favorite shows. This is an inside joke because the movie is based off a book and the image has very similar artwork to the book that the movie is based off of.
Remember when our fair hair...
Here's a treat that's fun to make and helps you get a word in edgewise. Take 2 of your favorite crackers, spread 1 with jam, 1 with peanut butter, mush them together, and jam them into the mouth of the chattering werewolf. Voila!
No.
We are then introduced to the vampire family.
Hello, Count Max, Ruby, Orson.
Good evening, Scary Godmother.
Help yourselves to the food.
Scary Godmother!
Oh no, this is my friend, Hannah Marie.
Wait a second, so in this universe, if monsters are real and they interact with humans, right? Does that mean vampires eat people? Considering there was no hesitation when Scary Godmother said help yourself to the food and they immediately went after Hannah. Remember, humans are friends, not food. The last person to arrive to the party is Bugaboo. He is supposed to be the monster that is underneath your bed. I can't even blame Hannah for fearing this one. This is genuinely nightmare fuel. We find out that Bugaboo's job is to scare kids, which is very interesting because this means that he has an employer, which means that there's some type of Monsters Inc. situation that goes on with Bugaboo, where monsters are essentially paid to scare kids. But like, does this mean that monsters need to scare kids for energy or shits and giggles? Like, I'm so confused. These are the questions that keep me up at night. Bugaboo tries to leave the party because Hannah is scared of him, but Hannah stops him because she realizes that he has feelings.
Oh, he's such a good man. That cracks me up.
that mean after all.
Well, to tell you the truth, monsters aren't mean. Big and scary, yeah, but not mean.
Big and scary is right.
Aw, you're just trying to butter me up.
And that he's not that mean, and he's one of the good monsters, like Scully mentioned. Since Bugaboo is the third roommate, right? That has me questioning. I'm wondering, like, do they own this house? Do they rent it? Do they lease? Do they split rent? Because this property, this is a pretty big house. It's like a mansion, to be honest with you. We meet back up with the big kids, who have essentially spent all Halloween night waiting for Hannah to get out of the house. Apparently, Jimmy is not the unanimous group leader, which matches his character very perfectly. Get it? Because he's the devil?
It's not fair. We didn't even vote.
You want to vote? Fine, we'll vote. Who wants me for leader? Okay. Who wants Bert for leader? Daryl? Katie?
That's one vote for everyone. I demand a recount. That's still one vote for everyone.
See anything you want to eat?
This kid was about to eat his new friend. We find out that Harry has eaten all the food at the party, so they order pizza.
Seriously, what are we going to do? We have to serve something. I'm getting hungry.
I'm starvulating.
I'm gonna fade away to nothing if I don't eat something soon.
Pizza! Pizza?
Pizza?
Pizza!
I'll eat pizza.
Me too.
Pizza!
But the fact that he was willing to suggest it really has you questioning, why is Harry here? And who really is Harry's friend?
I thought monsters ate little girls.
Oh, that's silly. Little girls make the crust all soggy. Just joking, kid. It's
I don't think he's joking, considering we know vampires definitely eat humans. So it's not far-fetched that monsters actually do eat little girls on pizza. Back with the big kids, they have convinced themselves that Hannah has been eaten by monsters, which is crazy considering at the beginning they were the ones who were insistent that monsters are not real. But the fact that in the back of their heads they do believe monsters are real kind of makes it more messed up that they left Hannah locked in that house by herself. Again, these kids are probably the worst people in the world. Back in the front side, the pizza has finally arrived, and it's $200. Now, to us in 2023, with the way inflation's going, that sounds about right. But this movie came out in the early 2000s, and to get $200 worth of pizza is highway robbery. So everyone's basically broke because none of them have actual jobs except Bugaboo. So they go to Bugaboo to see if he has any money to pay for the pizzas. And this is what happens to him.
I found a 50 in his underarm.
Now, I don't know what you are seeing, but this looks like a shakedown to me. Scary Godmother catches Harry trying to eat all the pizzas. And basically, for all his shenanigans that he's pulled tonight, Scary Godmother essentially makes Harry her indentured servant for a year.
Lousy table manners.
No, please, I'll do anything.
I know you will, Harry. You'll help me in the pumpkin patch. You'll knit spider webs, clean the tombs. Oh, yes. You'll probably have tonight paid off by Halloween next year. Enjoy your pizza.
It's turned to...
To cool off. That's when it gets nice and cloudy. Wanna try?
Yo, what type of blood is on that pizza? Don't tell me that it's human blood on that pizza. And he tried to offer it to a little girl? Hannah has officially gotten over her fear of monsters, even though there is one of them who is very willing to eat her. We also find out that Bugaboo is the monster that's underneath Jimmy's bed, and he comes to scare Jimmy every other Thursday. Scary Godmother and Hannah conspire with the other monsters to teach Jimmy and the other big kids a lesson. The big kids go into the spook house to find Hannah, and they are greeted by all the monsters who scare the living daylights out of all of them.
Save me, Hannah!
Goodness, what a harsh light. Gack, I expire.
Hannah shows up with her flashlight to save the day, and all the monsters follow along as she shines the flashlight on all of them to defeat them in the end. Now it's time for Hannah to say goodbye to all the monster friends that she made. Scary Godmother gives her a key that allows her to open a portal to the front side whenever she wants to. This little girl was essentially given access to interdimensional travel like it was nothing. That's ultimately how the movie ends. I remember Scary Godmother would always air on Cartoon Network during October, and I remember the network airing it a lot, alongside Scary Godmother 2. Leave a comment if you want me to review that one too. But it's such a great cartoon holiday special with its colorful characters, heartfelt lessons, and whimsical storytelling. Scary Godmother is not just a Halloween treat, but a reminder that sometimes the things that seem scary at first can turn out to be the most wonderful and cherished experiences. So, whether it's Halloween or any day of the year, let Scary Godmother inspire you to embrace the spooky, silly, and extraordinary in life. Thank you for watching all the way through the video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace!